Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. I am Ola, and on the other side, we have my friend Dan, and this is our channel, To See or Not to See, where we share movie reviews. No spoilers, no ratings, just our opinions on whether a film is worth seeing or not. Today's film is called The Rip, which is starring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, a couple who have made some very successful films in the past. Now, what is a rip? Well, if you watch the movie, you'll find out. But very briefly, it's a film with a lot of police officers, a lot of cartel drug money, and a story about what to do with all the money. So, Dan, is this a film worth seeing?
Yes, this is a really good story. There are a few action scenes in the film, a fairly short one in the beginning, one in the middle, and one at the end. I'm not particularly fond of action films, but I don't think it dominates this movie in any way. It's more about a situation where you don't know who is the bad one and who is the evil one. It's important to pay attention to the dialogues, to watch the characters' facial expressions, observe how the characters behave toward each other. That gives you a help to solving the mystery, bad and good mystery.
Yeah.
It is worth seeing. I watched this film twice in a row with only a few hours in between. The second time was much better when I already knew. Yeah, when I already knew everything, I could then focus on the small details that are significant to the story. Yeah. Especially the dialogues, who says what to whom and why. And you?
Well, I think it's worth seeing. I think it's a clever movie. I think it's very entertaining and exceptionally well made in every way. It's very professionally made. And I think it's a movie that rewards thinking and it rewards staying. It's worth, and you were touching on this, to stay alert all through the film. Be very aware of who says what to whom and so on, right? And if you do that, you will be rewarded because it's an interesting story, and I think I was following it, excitedly to the very end. So yes, I think it's worth seeing. But now, Dan, turning over to you, some of the characteristics of this film. Would you like to talk about those?
Yes, this is overall a crime movie and spiced with some action scenes. But it's a crime movie. But for me, the real appeal of the film is figuring out who belongs to the good side and who belongs to the bad side. That's why I like the film. That's why I take the film as somewhat of a detective movie as well, even if the director wouldn't agree with me. More about the story, Ola.
Well, it's actually the story. I think we've mentioned a few times. The story is about a bunch of police officers and a whole lot of money, and how are they going to deal with that money, and who is a good cop and who is a bad cop. That's really the story. But it does take a little time to develop. There are some at the beginning of the movie. There are some scenes they sort of set the scene. They set the scene without spoiling. They set the scene for what's going to happen later in the movie in terms of what kind of relationships you have between the different individuals, things that have happened in the past that will influence what's going on in the film. But once again, this is a story. You have a bunch of cops in a house, and you have an unbelievable amount of cartel-owned drug money. And the story is about what are we going to do with the money, and who's the good cop, and who's the dirty cop, and who's a little bit of both. So, and just like I said, it pays off to stay alert because that's part of the charm that's part of the thing with the movie, I think.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah. So and then to go on, we talk about we like to talk about brain and heart. Is it how much is it how much of a brain movie is it, and how much of a heart movie? That is how much. And this is pretty much a brain movie, I would say. This is a movie for the brain. This is a thinking person's movie, because there are so many things to consider. And depending on your taste, depending on what you like, you can really get into it. And just like you said, you may not need to watch it a second time, but now we have warned everybody. Pay close attention to who says what to whom and how they say it and how they look while they say it. It will pay off, certainly. So, what's our verdict? I think we've.
Oh, I have some comments on the technique as well.
Yes, of course you do. I'm sorry, that's my mistake.
Yeah, I like to study the camera movings and stuff like that. So in this film, the camera during the dialogues in most, so to say, normal situations are steady. Shaky in action scene and when it's, so to say, necessary. Just the way I like it. I hate shaky camera. But when it's needed, it's quite okay. The time between cuts, one of my favorites as well. The shot, it's an average 4 to 6 seconds, good for this type of film, although I prefer shots that are 1 to 2 seconds longer. But it's a carefully crafted film in every respect, even if nothing particularly stands out.
Yeah. Yes, it is well made. I think so, right? I mean, the individual who did it, he knew what he was doing. He made some choices. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See this film if you like crimes. This is nothing for you that only like feel-good movies.
No, you're right. I agree. But if you have any interest in crime or any interest in action or just mystery, sort of, like you say, it's a detective story. Who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. If you enjoy that at all, I think it's it's a very good film indeed to see. That's it.
Yeah, to see.
To see, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, have a good one.